Hi guys, and week 16 is Andrew Wyeth. So you have your 3 facts in your white book that we've been going through. And again, those sometimes correlate with his pictures in your blue folder, whatever color folder you have, but with all of the weeks in it. Please remember when you're done with these to re paperclip them and put them in the back so we can save them for next time we do cycle 3. Okay, Andrew Wyeth was really big on watercolors, so we are going to attempt that. I will show you what I'm going to do, what I think is going to be a little bit easier, but there is a really nice lady that does a really beautiful watercolor kind of step by step with the kids. I will send that link out if you would like to do that with your kids, but I think it's going to be way too intense for anyone except for Holly and Angie's classes. Okay, so week 16, you have your pictures. You do have specific watercolor paper. It's not the really expensive, really nice stuff. So one of the notes was to maybe bring a hair dryer just to kind of dry it off a little bit quicker. You can decide if you want to do that for the next step, and I'll tell you why you would want that. So you're going to take one sheet of your watercolor paper, and we are going to go off of this drawing, the second drawing, because it is the simplest. It is called Christina's World. Well, on here it says WRLD because I forgot the O, but Christina's World. This is one of, if not his most famous painting. So if you look at it, you kind of have a nice blue, grayish backdrop, a light green here, and then a darker green as you get to the bottom, and then a very pink girl. So when you're doing the watercolors, you're going to not paint over like you would with a crayon or something else. You need to leave the spot blank for this woman and for this house. And what's going to happen is that you're going to do a basic brush over with your brushes and your colors. You should all still have these watercolors in your bins. You're probably going to do, and what I mean by a basic brush over, you're going to do a little bit of detail, but obviously you're not going to get a whole lot with the watercolors, and that's where the additional hair dryer would come in, because then if you dry it, and then you can go back and add some of these details in her hair and in the house. You can make very exact pitched roof and draw her arm in and those kinds of things. I do have a black a black sketchy marker to do those lines. I think this is going to be way too big and way too bold. I would just use a pencil. I think that's going to be plenty because the watercolors are going to be very light. So use a pencil if you do want to do that next step into it. For Heidi and me, I think it'll be plenty just to try and get some sort of version of this. And what we found out is that kids are actually really good at following directions, and they're really awesome. So I think that if you make it simple, I think that they'll be able to. Again, I will post a link for the really beautiful one that she does really well, and she's got to be a professional artist. Not my jam, but it's really good for her. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so I'm sorry, you can go over with a pencil. I think that would be the best idea. But if you're finding that that is not working, I would either try some pastels or even just crayons if you don't want the mess of pastels, because I know that they can get very messy. For your watercolors, I know our class has this bin. I know everyone else does not. I'm not going to bring my measuring cups again. So between Renee, Heidi, Angie, and Dana, if you guys can decide who's just going to bring maybe a pourer for your little tiny cups. And if you don't have these, you can also just use Dixie cups for water. You should have some left over from last week in the sand art. And last, if you do not have this drawing first, okay, let me see, it's not focusing. If you do not have this drawing first, it is called 8 Bells. Please let me know, because I have an extra one and I don't think that the chances of it being extra are that great. So just text me and let me know. I'm keeping it in my folder regardless. But that should be it. Remember to put labels on the back. I really apologize because I know that a lot of these kids and extras are not always right, and we have to write some in. So I'm sorry, but I really don't want to reprint all these when we sell this paper. So if you can just use the extra one at the bottom, but if it's a really big deal, let me know. I'm just looking around to make sure that's it. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Again, Wyeth, the watercolors, use the watercolor paper, and his 3 facts, and I think that's about it. Yeah, have a mom just wash out all your stuff. Let's just try and keep it as clean as possible for the next class, and then for when we put it away, because I don't normally look at it, especially now that you guys have your bins, just in case it doesn't get dealt with. One of the biggest things is your paintbrushes. Please do not ziplock that bag shut. Just leave it open to leave some air going in, because that will really cause the mold. And make sure to put your tablecloth down. Make sure to grab your paper towels. You'll definitely need those. I do have some extras that I will bring, and then maybe someone can just carry them to and fro if you do need them for later weeks. If you do need some now, just let me know so I can bring extras. Okay, week 16, Andrew Wyeth. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks.